the Speaker of the Senate, Cabinet Secretaries present, including the Attorney General, the majority party and minority party leaders of the National Assembly, the majority party and minority party leaders of the Senate, the whips of both the majority and minority parties, the deputy majority leader of the Senate, the principal secretaries, parliamentary affairs,
Chairman Budget.
Your Excellency, sir, with your kind permission, I now invite the Clerk of the National Assembly to present the vellum copies of the bills for your consideration and assent.
Your Excellency, I stand before you under the instructions of the Speakers of Houses of Parliament to place before you the vellums for your assent.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, the first bill to receive your assent is the National Disaster Risk Management Authority Bill. Your Excellency, this bill has traveled a long legislative journey in Houses of Parliament, initially having been introduced in the last Parliament, 29th, Your Excellency. Initially having been introduced in Parliament by the then chair of the Budget and Appropriations Committee and member for Kikuyu constituency in the last Parliament, the Honorable Kimani Ichung'wah. However, the end of term of last Parliament came before the bill was passed by both houses, and it was reintroduced, this time as a majority party bill in this Parliament at the beginning of the current Parliament, passed by the National Assembly with amendments, sent to the Senate, Your Excellency, and the Senate made amendments to it, which initially the two houses disagreed. Finally, the two speakers appointed a mediation committee, which agreed, came up with a version which was agreed by both houses. Your Excellency, for the first time now, we have a bill providing for the manner of dealing with national disasters. It has always been a lacuna in our law, and the bill categorizes disasters in three categories: a national disaster, a disaster at a county level, and a disaster that can happen in more than one county. Your Excellency, the bill also establishes the National Disaster Management Authority and a disaster management committees with respect to the counties. The bill provides that if a disaster happens in a county and a county is able to manage the disaster, that will be handled by that county under the stewardship of the county, under the stewardship, Your Excellency, of the County Disaster Management Committee, Your Excellency. The bill provides that if a disaster happens in a county and a county is unable to manage that disaster, it can be assisted by other counties, or indeed the national government can come to assist in the management of that disaster. Your Excellency, the bill also provides that in case of disasters of a huge magnitude, the President can announce a situation of national disaster and therefore require all state resources for purposes of management of the disaster to be channeled towards management of that disaster, Your Excellency. The second bill, Your Excellency, is a bill introduced by both houses, by the leaders of majority of both houses, the Senator for Kericho and the distinguished member for Kikuyu. That is a Forest Conservation and Management Amendment Bill. Your Excellency, this is one of the DPO-related bills, which is amending our Forestry Act so as to give certain functions with respect to management of forest, the national government, the county government, and KEFRI as we know it, Your Excellency. The bill enhances sustainable forest management and provides for improvement and the participation of communities in the management of our forest, including providing for how communities and how farmers can be provided with incentives in exchange of managing their land in an ecological friendly manner. The bill reestablishes KEFRI under the Principal Act now, which is the Forest Act, because KEFRI previously was under the Science and Technology Act. The last bill to obtain your assent today, Your Excellency, is the Equalization Fund Appropriation Bill. This bill, Your Excellency, was introduced in the National Assembly by the member for Alego Usonga, with the chairman of the Budget and Appropriations Committee, the Honorable Samuel Atandi. It provides for how the counties will share the equalization funds as required under Articles 204 and 219 of our Constitution. The bill has listed 34 counties which will benefit from the fund and sets out the amount to be appropriated amongst the 34 counties. The amount, Your Excellency, is 16.8 billion, which is to be shared amongst the 34 counties, with 500 million going to the administration of the fund in the Equalization Fund Secretariat.
Will this money be available before the end of the year?
Your Excellency, the way the bill is structured, it provides that once the money is provided within the next 30 days, each county is going to open an account at the central bank for purposes of managing these monies, so that that money is not spent for any other purpose by any of the 34 counties, but for purposes set out in the Act, which is electricity, water, health, and sanitation, Your Excellency.
But what happens if it gets to the end of the year? Does it have to be reappropriated again, or once it is appropriated, it is one way?
Once it's appropriated, Your Excellency, it is gone, because this bill even has arrears of previous years, including the year 2024, 2025, which was not appropriated. And that money has now been accumulated into this one. That is 2024, 2025 arrears, 2025, 2026 current monies. And each county government will be required to open that special account at central bank to ensure that that money does not go back to the consolidated fund, but is spent by the counties, the 34 counties, Your Excellency. It is expected that the counties will implement projects relating to electricity, health facilities, water, and roads to improve marginally their situation, Your Excellency. I seek your leave, Your Excellency, to end my commission for the day at this stage. Thank you.
With Your Excellency's assent and the sacred trust it carries, the nation's sight on you now look beyond the bottom-up economic transformation agenda towards the realization of first world status within a generation. Your Excellency, sir, I now invite you to hand over the copies of the Act to His Excellency, the Deputy President, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, the Honorable Attorney General, for publication into law, and to the Cabinet Secretaries present for implementation. Your Excellency may also graciously present ceremonial copies of the acts to the Speaker of the National Assembly, the Speaker of the Senate, the leader of the majority party in both houses of Parliament, and other members of Parliament present, and all esteemed state officials in attendance. Your Excellency will unveil and display an open ceremonial copy of the acts, while other state officials shall bear closed copies. Your Excellency, sir, permit me now to request all members of the executive, other than the Deputy President and the Prime Cabinet Secretary, and the parliamentary leadership, excluding the two speakers of the House, to retreat to allow us progress to the photo session.
And for the to join His Excellency. Environment, Forestry and Mining. The environment officials can retreat. Environment officials to retreat. And then now I request His Excellency to be joined by the Ministry of Interior, the Special Programs and Devolution Team. That is Ministry of Interior, Special Programs and the Devolution Team. And members of the committee from both houses. Minority Leader, to kindly join in the photo. All right. Environment of Ministry of Interior Programs officials to retreat, and now His Excellency to be joined by the Finance and Budget Committee of both houses, accompanied by the National Treasury officials and State Department of Devolution. We can have the Majority Leader, Minority Leader, and Senate to also join. Thank you, Excellency. That brings us to the end of the photo session.